Hello everyone and welcome to PJ Talks. I'm here today with Gary Wroe, the Managing Director of Hockley Mint, and we're going to be discussing how Hockley's been managing to get through this crisis, and Gary's going to share some of his advice for jewellers as they prepare to reopen their stores. So hi Gary, thanks for joining me today.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So when the government kind of gave the green light for companies like Hockley to officially be up and running and be running full time, how did you go about getting the factory ready and actually preparing your staff for the changes that were going to be in place?
Okay, so literally when the government announced the lockdown on the 23rd of March, 24th of March, we'd already got a plan in place of what we was going to do with production and with our workforce. So we literally rolled out that plan straight away, and on that evening I emailed most of my staff and said to them, listen, the government's put us in lockdown, let's close the factory and you're, until further notice, you'll stay at home. But I did have a core team that came into work for that preceding week, because we had got production, we had got orders to fulfill. So obviously the staff's welfare was at the front of my mind, but we literally got a team of 25 staff in to continue our production through that week, which was already planned.
Yeah.
Following week after that, then we decided to shut the factory for a week and give us some time to think what we were going to do and how we were going to plan for the future. And then the week after that, we thought, okay, we can safely operate on 2 days a week just with a core team of staff, as long as we've got the work coming in to actually warrant that.
Yeah.
So all throughout March, we'd done our 4 days the rest of that week. Moving into April, we had the first week off, and then for the final 3 weeks, we worked 2 days a week, and we carried on full production throughout the facility. This was really welcome throughout the trade because people still wanted orders, still people had work to complete and to finish, and so we was able to facilitate that for them. And then moving into May, we carried on doing the same. We then moved from 2 days a week to 3 days a week, finally up to 4 days a week, and now we're back on 5 days a week, albeit with a reduced team of 25 staff.
Amazing. And obviously staff are having to work in quite different ways to what they have done before. What have you found is the best way to communicate any changes that are happening to the staff and make sure everyone understands kind of new regulations and measures that are in place?
Well, as the regulations and as they're coming out, we're trying to update our staff. I give weekly briefings to our staff through an email, so I have a group email set up, and that gets transmitted to everybody. And from there, we talk to our team if they've got any concerns or problems, and we're in regular contact with our staff as well on the telephone or email if they need it as well. We updated our COVID policy right at the beginning on government advice and what the government were advising, and we've obviously had to change that as we've gone along, and then we've resent that out and risk assessments and whatever. So we've put a lot of measures in the workplace to ensure that staff are safe that are working, but also when people are returning back into work, we can actually get them back in safely.
Yeah. Amazing. And with the new rules and regulations, obviously the government have released some since you've even reopened. What are some of the challenges you've had to overcome during this time?
I think the main thing is making sure that we can get people back in safely. So while we got 25 people working within a 30,000 square foot factory, it's quite easy to get people working within the social distancing and making sure that they wash their hands regularly, make sure that they are using sanitizer. So we've been quite lucky and fortunate that we've got the space and the size of the factory that we have, the facility. So all of the different functions are spread out all over the factory, so people aren't gathered together. Some of the challenges that we face is when we're getting the mounters back together and the workshop, we've got people sitting next to each other. So we're going through a process at the moment of ensuring that people are separated from each other, at least one workbench away from each other. And where we can't do that, we'll put screening in between the members of the staff. Apart from that, we've been, like I say, fairly lucky that we've got all the measures in place ready to get people back into work safely.
Amazing. And obviously for a lot of jewellers, they won't have the luxury of so much space, but what advice would you give jewellers as they begin the process of getting their environments ready for reopening?
Certainly there's a lot of advice out online from the CMJ, from the NAJ, from Holden, from trade press, and it really is keeping up to date with what's going on and what's the latest thinking about that. I think that certainly one of the big issues is getting people in and out of store safely, and that is staff as well. And one of the things that they might find challenging is people's reluctance to come back into work if they don't feel safe. So it's ensuring that we've got this safe environment for both customers, but certainly also staff that are coming back into that environment, because it really, really is important that we can get people back into work safely.
Yeah. Have you encountered any of that, people being reluctant to come in, or?
Well, all the way through the process. I mean, you know, because we've got 25 staff in here, I can talk to the staff on a daily basis and a weekly basis. If anybody's got any concerns, they can come and see me. I can talk to them. And any fears that we've had, we've allayed those fears right from the outset, when people was frightened to come into work, you know. But we've worked and managed our way through that and made sure that we've continued to do the social distancing, and we haven't put anybody in jeopardy. We're using head thermometers of a morning, so everybody gets a thermal scan. So anybody coming into our building gets thermal scans. That they use sanitizer, like I say, and hand washing, and regularly throughout the day they're encouraged to do that as well. There's no sort of group meetings or whatever, so it really is people spread out around the factory.
Amazing. And as in general for Hockley Mint, how has business kind of been over the last couple of months and during these difficult times?
Strange.
Yeah.
We say strange times. I think this is the new norm now as well. But yeah,
it really is.
I mean, to be honest, if we hadn't had any work coming in throughout April and May, then we would have took the decision to close and utilise the furlough scheme for most of the workforce. The fact that we have had orders, we have had demand, we have had people wanting us to produce jewellery, we've remained open, and so, you know, we continue to do that. So we had 25 people in, as I said, but we had 65 people on furlough, and we had this sort of three-stage plan in place there, where the step one was actually to do 25 staff on 2 days a week, step that up to 3 and 4 and 5 days a week. And then step 3 will be when retail opens, we start to get more work back in. We start then to unfurlough people and get that back in as well. And really, it depends on the demand now. So let's get the demand back, hopefully, and start to drive through more sales, and then hopefully unfurlough more and more people as we move along. But there's, you know, we've certainly got a consistent plan that we've worked right from the beginning all the way through.
Amazing. Have you been in touch with your retailers much? Are you kind of still having those conversations?
Absolutely, yeah. We're still having conversation with retailers, and you know, we've had lots and lots of emails from customers saying just thank you for what we've done, which has been really, you know, touching. And it's a testament to the staff what they've done. You know, they really have pulled out all of the stops to ensure that we can carry on producing. You know, and we've got a real strong core team that's working here at the moment. So it's fantastic. You know, testament to them.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. It's great to hear from you and to see you. And yeah, thank you very much.